comparison between slow programmable breathing protocol and vitrification in pellet form of guinea fowl spermatozoa using in vitro and in vivo sperm evaluation assay. So let's have some word about the guinea fowl. Here it is. So in 2000, the guinea fowl were first introduced to Vietnam from the Institute of Small Animal Research in Guadeloupe. Since then, it adopted successfully and it became very popular. You know why? Because of excellent quality meat and very low cost keeping. And it has a lot of people residing in the countryside get rid of poverty. Recently, the poor genetic conservation of the guinea fowl raised more and more attention nationally as well. However, there's only in vivo genetic conservation program going on right now in Vietnam, and I think personally the in vitro cryopreservation should be considered for safety reasons. Within the technology for cryopreservation, the semen cryopreservation seems to be the most practical method for poultry. Interestingly, there was only one study available on semen cryopreservation of guinea fowl so far. Wow, it's in France and from 2005. So in this experiment, my experiment was carried in Guadeloupe, 30 kilometers from here. And we used the 1-year-old guinea fowl rural Hungarian breed for the experiment. They are kept in the individual cage, fed with commercial food, and under 16-hour lighting period. The semen collection, we use the non-invasive abdominal massage technique adapted from the chicken. And all the data collected from the experiment were analyzed by the Mann-Whitney test and the Kruskal-Wallis-Arnold test. I show you the detail of the breathing protocol. In the first picture, I show you the machine we use for slow breathing, and the second one with the box of liquid nitrogen and pipette we use for vitrification. The first slow programmable breathing protocol we adapted from the first study, and the second one we invented for the guinea fowl. So the difference between them is that the breathing rate in the slow programmable protocol, different breathing rates have been applied, but in case of pellet formation and vitrification, only drop directly into the liquid nitrogen. Simple. However, the joy of the container, or the joy of cryoprotectant, dilution, and equilibration time are different in both protocols. The EG stands for ethylene glycol, and ZMA stands for dimethyl acetamide. Okay, semen after freezing were evaluated by both in vitro and in vivo assay. In vitro assay, it concerns motility, the concentration, the light-death ratio, and abnormalities of morphology abnormalities. The motility, we use the subjective scoring from 0 to 5. It's based on the number of moving spermatozoa and the direction of the movement. The concentration is measured by the spectrophotometer, and the other two parameters we use the aniline fluorescein staining. As you can see in the photo, the third photo, the dead spermatozoa show pinkish staining the intracellular space. Focus on this. But in case of intact spermatozoa, it shows transparent and visible, clearly intact membrane as well. In the first, the second, and the last picture, you can see the abnormalities under the staining. So swollen or crooked head or hairpin tail. Yeah. In the in vivo sperm assay, we need half of artificial insemination. So three groups of animals were used. The first one is the control and inseminated with fresh semen. The other two were inseminated with frozen tore semen, producing with the two freezing protocol I mentioned before. And the duration of artificial insemination is 3 weeks, 8 times totally for each group. The average artificial insemination dose is 290 million spermatozoa per hen. The detection of infertile egg and egg with very early embryonic death was carried by candling and PI staining. PI means propylium iodide. There's 4 categories we consider in this experiment. The first one is normal development, the egg with normal development embryo. So under the candling, you will see the well-defined blood vessel, and the embryo should respond to the lighting torch by moving. The second category is the egg with early embryonic death during incubation. You should see the broken blood vessel on the candling. The third one is embryonic death within the oviduct. So, in this case, you will see the clear appearance on the candling, but with the PI staining, you will see the lighting point under the fluorescent microscope and its nucleus. So it means fertility is done, but the embryo dead. The final category is the infertile egg. So the same happens on the candling, clear appearance, but under the fluorescent microscope with the PI staining is dark red background without nucleus. And finally, the fertility was calculated based on the number of total eggs and the infertile egg in percentage. This table shows you the statistic result on in vitro evaluation. I figured on important thing, and you can see the first one, survival rate, P is 0.022, and this means the survival rate in the vitrification group is significantly higher. However, the percentage of live normal spermatozoa is much higher in case of slow freezing. To show you the statistic result on in vivo evaluation, and you can see the fertility rate produced by vitrification might be significantly higher. However, the early embryonic death, the percentage, is not significantly different between two groups. But if you take a look at the result of each week, in the slow group, the percentage remained high during the whole period, and in the pellet group, it dropped dramatically by the third week. I think it should be considered in further research because it might reflect the effectiveness of freezing protocol. Finally, to compare the two freezing protocols, both freezing protocols produce unacceptable average sperm survival rate between 23.53% and 28.59%, and the highest we achieved is 40.2%. Interestingly, we achieve higher average fertility rate in both groups compared to the previous study, the first study. And through the experiment, it's worth observing that in slow group, it produced high percentage of live normal spermatozoa and high percentage of early embryonic death as well. So it might mean that the percentage of live normal spermatozoa could be a good estimate for prediction of the percentage of early embryonic death later on. But I have to consider the both in vitro and in vivo tests are needed for reliable testing in general. In conclusion, I would propose that the vitrification in pellet form is another promising method for freezing uniform spermatozoa because of acceptable survival rate and high fertility. I also suggest the concurrent comparison between different freezing systems, because I personally experienced a lot of difficulty to compare data of my thesis and the first study because of such difference in the design, in the joy of protectance, in the joys of keeping condition, and the development of new sensitive in vitro assays might be a valuable assessment for establishing another effective freezing protocol for guinea fowl. Okay. Last but not least, I would like to thank you for your patience, your attention, and especially my tutor, Professor Gasparian, Ms. Eva Varadi. Without their persistent help, this thesis could not be possible. And especially, I would like to show my deep gratitude to Ms. Disney Dongsun, my friend Parsi and Druhi for coming today. Thank you very much.